This is Corey, and I'm here with Justin today. Justin,
Hey, what's going on, guys?
what's up, dude?
Not much, man. How you been this week?
You know, I've been pretty good this week. I've been a little tired, but whatever.
Yeah, man. I'm probably the same way. Work's been pretty rough this week. Just had a good weekend. It's back to work tomorrow night.
All right.
Yeah, but we went hard this weekend and had some fun.
Nice.
What have you been doing this weekend so far?
Let's see. Well, hold on. What are you drinking this week?
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, so this week we got a Miller High Life, living the high life.
Oh yeah.
Are you drinking that Bud Light?
Yeah. Same old.
Nice.
Give me 1 second here.
Oh, you gotta grab a fresh one. Corey's grabbing a fresh one. You can tell Corey's been drinking a couple fresh. Guess this is like a little Justin corner right now. We wait on Corey. I hear him.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
Oh, he's back. All right.
So 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and open your beer.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, dude. What'd you
That's
say you were
better.
drinking again?
We got Miller High Life.
Miller High Life? Nice.
Yeah.
That's new, dude. I wouldn't expect you to be drinking that shit.
We had like a 24 rack in the fridge, and it's like I decided to drink something different for the podcast this week.
Yeah, so my Bud Light is the same Bud Light from last weekend.
Yeah.
We had a couple of beers left in the fridge. I was like, fuck it, I'll just drink that Bud Light again.
Speaking of beer, since I've been drinking some of the same stuff every podcast, yesterday we actually had a couple different beers here in the house.
Oh yeah? Go ahead and tell your story, dude.
Yeah, so Quintana came over yesterday, and we watched Birdman. We got a little toasty, and get to Birdman in a minute. But I was drinking. They have Elysian Brewing actually down here in New Orleans, which is pretty cool. So they have like Space Dust, which is like really popular everywhere.
Really?
It seems, from like when I first started seeing it.
Mhm.
But had a Dayglow IPA, and then we got some Shiner, which is like a Texas brewery.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a Shiner, it's like a light lager, and then we had a Shiner strawberry lager. It's like a seasonal, like kind of like a fruit beer. It was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, Birdman. It was weird watching Birdman drunk because it was like the whole movie shot in like one continuous scene, like or at least it's supposed to be shot in the style of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like super like artsy, which isn't like a bad thing.
Right.
But it was like just a lot to take in, like buzz, because it all happened so fast.
I haven't seen that movie yet, so I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, you should definitely see it, man. I recommend.
I
everyone see
mean,
it.
I'm totally down to see it. I don't have anything against any of the movies that like get nominated for Best Picture and all that.
Yeah,
Unless it's like a movie that I don't think deserves to be denominated, But
yeah, I think we're both still salty about what's that movie that beat out Interstellar?
dude, Interstellar
movie.
deserved to be a fucking masterpiece. Like, I will fight for that movie until the day I die because that movie
Yeah,
was
movie's
just so
awesome.
damn good.
But what was the movie that it was against? The other space movie that got the Oscar?
Oh, The Martian.
no,
maybe?
it wasn't The Martian. One with
Gravity.
Sandra Bullock.
Gravity?
Yeah, Gravity.
Was
Yeah.
it that movie?
Let me do a quick search because now I'm curious.
I don't think two movies came out at the same time. I think Gravity came out before Interstellar. Because I remember talking about Gravity in class with Mr. Voight.
Okay, yeah. So Gravity was 1 year before.
Right.
Well, let's see what.
But what
Gravity
movie?
was-
What movie won the year that Gravity came or Interstellar came out with Christopher
I'm gonna look
Nolan?
up both because I want to know what Gravity beat out. Because I remember being salty about that. The Gravity Oscars.
Look up like Oscars 2014
Yep. So
or 2015, I guess.
yeah, Gravity won like 7 Oscars that year.
That movie, okay, that movie was good, I guess, if you like the special effects and all that bullshit. But honestly, it was a terrible movie. It was so boring to watch.
Yeah, so
Interstellar,
Gravity,
on the other hand. What did
oh my God,
Interstellar
keep going.
lose to?
I'm trying to find like a definitive listing.
You guys got to look up like the
I'm just going to look up 2014.
2014
Oscars.
2014/2015 Oscar.
I think Gravity was in the 2013, 2014.
Right, but
Yeah, so I'm gonna look up the next ones here in a minute.
but Interstellar was in the 2014-15.
Oh, here we go. Here's why I was so upset. So, Best Picture went to 12 Years a Slave.
Of what year?
This is 2013, 2014.
Okay.
But the nominees for that category were American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, The Wolf of Wall Street.
I can accept 12 Years a Slave because at least that movie is like American history.
I'm just giving you like a list of what was out at the time.
Right.
Look, here's the movies that Gravity won over. So Best Director, Gravity won over David Russell for American Hustle, Steve McQueen, 12 Years a Slave, Martin Scorsese, Wolf of Wall Street.
Honestly, in my opinion, all those movies were better than 12 Years.
That's what I'm getting at. That's why I was saying that Gravity. I remember it like pissed me off.
Yeah, because I liked Gravity. It was a good space blah 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 movie. It had good visuals, but all those movies were superior to Gravity.
Yeah, American Hustle is a masterpiece.
American Hustle is better.
Wolf of Wall Street is
Wolf
amazing.
of Wall Street better. 12 Years a Slave, so
Captain
much
Phillips
better.
came out. Captain Phillips.
Dallas Buyers Club, so much fucking better than that movie.
All right, now let's see what won out over
Interstellar.
So yeah, this is actually interesting. So I just watched Birdman, and Birdman was actually the Best Picture winner for that year.
For what year?
For 2014, 2015.
Really? So it beat out Interstellar.
Well, see, remember, like Interstellar never, like, they only got nominated for one category with all that controversy going on.
Oh yeah, what was it nominated for?
I think it was. Let me check. I think it was sound design.
Best sound design.
Down here.
Hans Zimmer just deserves like the greatest composer ever award.
Yeah, so they were nominated for Best Sound Editing.
Of course.
But American Sniper actually won the Oscar. Oh, and then they're also nominated for Best Sound Mixing.
So Birdman won Best Picture that year.
Yep, Birdman won Best Picture, Director, Original Screenplay.
I still haven't seen Birdman. So.
Best Cinematography. I can see how it won Best Cinematography because the camera work was pretty impressive for the continuous shot aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like there's like also a lot of good movies. American Sniper.
That's crazy, dude.
Was pretty much like the other big one I saw. Grand Budapest Hotel. I really enjoyed. You know, if you're into the Wes Anderson movies.
I did see that movie actually. I saw half of that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie. The art style was actually pretty cool.
Honestly, if I had to I want to be a director one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's always been my dream, is to direct a movie. If I had to pick like my visual style, if I had to like pick an inspiration, I would definitely pick Wes Anderson because his visual, like when it comes to movies, his visual aesthetic is so fucking amazing. Like,
well, and what's weird is like
colors and just like his character. It's just he just knows how to like visually direct a movie. His stories aren't always the greatest.
Well, see, that's actually interesting because I saw something like how Wes Anderson movies, they all are very similar. Like they're very like they have similar character themes, similar ideas, similar. They have like a lot of like everything in them lines up. But man, like I've seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, which and then the Grand Budapest Hotel. I need to see like a couple others. I know what's the other one?
I've seen Grand Budapest Hotel and I've seen Moonlight Kingdom.
Yeah, I need to see that one. Isn't Bill Murray in that one?
Yes. Bill Murray, like Ed Norton.
Yep.
And then a bunch of people are in that movie. But it's just the way he directs his movies. Like his visual aesthetic is so appealing.
Yeah.
Like it just looks good when you look at it.
Yeah, and especially like the way he uses color to translate.
Exactly, that's the thing. His color, that's it. The way he uses color, it's just so appealing to the eye.
Yeah, speaking of Edward Norton, though, you brought up, he was actually in Birdman, and he was amazing. Really? He was really good in Birdman.
I gotta watch that movie. Honestly, I can't believe I haven't watched it. It's just it's just not like readily available for me, I guess.
Yeah, I streamed it the other day on Google Play.
Yeah, I'll have to
But
do
yeah,
that, I
like
guess.
the thing is, like I really liked it because I mean, like I just watched The Founder, which was
Hmm.
actually I really enjoyed. Cause, but yeah, Michael Keaton, he's in this movie too,
Michael
and like he's a
Keaton. Yeah.
good actor.
Michael Keaton's a fantastic fucking actor.
Yeah, I never knew it until like because I've never until I saw like Founder.
Right.
Damn,
Well,
he's that.
he was one of the original Batmans.
Wait, that's why this movie's so funny too. Because like I was like looking into it and like Birdman and Batman, and like
Mm.
he's an actor who's like acting about being a washed out actor. And like
Right.
another thing is like Emma Stone is in the movie,
Oh,
and like she's like one of her main things is like
love
you have
her.
to have a Twitter and you have to have a Instagram to be popular, but then they
Mhm.
realize she doesn't have it. So there's like a lot of like stark opposites and similarities like with like
Wow.
the cast in the movie.
Did you see Spider-Man: Homecoming?
I did not. I only saw the first of the new Spider-Man series.
Okay, well, he
Oh
was
no, wait, that
Michael
yeah,
Keaton was the bad guy in the movie. He played the Falcon.
okay.
He was like, okay, so you know how Loki is kind of like considered the best Marvel bad guy
Yeah,
recently?
yeah.
Because like honestly, Marvel's kind of sucked ass as far as bad guys goes recently. But Loki's always been kind of like the best one that they've had.
Yeah, he's likable.
Well, Michael Keaton is like I guess you can say he's the second best one, right? Because
Right.
most of the time, all the Marvel bad guys get killed off and then they never use them again.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton is like one of the ones that they haven't killed off yet. He's still alive at the end of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spoiler alert! But that movie came out like a year ago, so if you haven't seen it yet, then fuck you.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I need to.
Yeah.
I want to see because Hannibal Buress is in there, and like that's
He is. He is.
funny
I
guy.
forgot he's fucking in that movie, dude. But that movie's actually really good, like, because it doubles as a high school movie, like a John
Uh-huh.
Hughes, like, high school movie.
Yeah.
So it's, like, pretty good, like, as far as that goes. But, obviously there's a whole superpower Spider-Man aspect to it, too.
Oh, Michael Keaton's in the new RoboCop. I forgot about that.
He plays the bad guy in that, too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Raymond Sellers. I'm almost positive that's
Dude,
the
he
guy.
plays such a good bad guy, like...
Yeah, like it's wild because he played a really good like protagonist in
But-
Birdman.
Anyway, in Spider-Man, he's the bad guy in that movie, and it's kind of a twist a little bit. I don't want to give it too away, but yeah, he was a really good bad guy, and he didn't die at the end. Spoiler alert again, but he didn't die at the end, so there's definitely a possibility he's coming back for the next Spider-Man, like Marvel movie or whatever they decide to do with that after Infinity War.
Yeah, to
out.
be honest, I
Which
think the last
Infinity War comes out like either next weekend or the weekend after.
the last event or the last Marvel movie I saw was like Civil War, I think. I don't even know what's happened
You're
since
so
Civil War.
behind.
Yeah, like Civil War was decent. and
Civil
then,
War is great, actually.
Yeah, like I remember I enjoyed it. It was just so long ago, and I haven't watched Marvel.
So
I
you
didn't,
missed
I didn't
out
see
on-
Avengers 2 either. I'm like way behind.
You never saw Avengers 2?
No, I just saw the first one.
Like, you never saw Age of Ultron?
I've seen like half of it, I think, but I haven't watched it like start to finish.
Dude, you're killing me, man.
Yeah. The only Marvel, or the only not Marvel, excuse me, like the most recent superhero movie I've seen, my memory serves me right, was Wonder Woman, and I actually really liked that movie.
Yeah,
It
that was a
like,
good movie.
yeah, DC like they
DC
pulled
did
off a
good.
good movie.
So you didn't see Justice League then, I'm guessing.
No, the last of that series I saw was Batman vs Superman.
Justice League was decent. It wasn't like as obviously DC is not on Marvel's level as far as the movie goes,
Yeah,
but I thought it was a decent movie for DC as far as like bringing all the characters together and stuff. They finally put out a decent Justice League movie.
did you see the most recent Deadpool trailer that came out like a day or two ago?
Oh. Dude, you know me. I'm a huge Deadpool fan.
Yeah.
I have him tattooed on my arm. That's how much of a Deadpool
So
fan I am.
you've seen the most recent one, right?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Like
Oh
I
my
was kind
God.
of
I can't
nervous
wait.
like how they're gonna take like the whole concept with the second movie, but it looks like it's gonna be pretty funny.
Ugh. I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited for that movie to come out.
Well,
I'm
it's
more excited for Deadpool 2 than I am Infinity War. Infinity War is supposed to be like the biggest Marvel movie that's ever come out.
Well, I love Deadpool because it was like,
Oh, the first one was fucking genius.
it was so good, and like I love how
The marketing
Ryan
of
Reynolds,
it,
like,
the marketing was fucking genius. The movie was fucking genius. Ryan Reynolds
Yeah, he
was
reps it
born
so
to play
hard.
Deadpool.
but like he takes the character to like the real world, which
Exactly.
is like really cool.
And the fourth wall breaks are just, oh, that's how he's supposed to be. Like that's how Deadpool is. He breaks the fourth wall all the time.
And I like how they keep stabbing, like he keeps making references
Exactly.
to
He makes fun of
what's
all
the
this
X-Men movie?
stupid shit in the X-Men universe. He
Well,
makes fun
Origins.
of like Marvel
Origins.
shit. Yeah. Did you see the new trailer? How he did that like bullet? He like cut
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bullet
yeah.
out.
And he's like, your bullets are just really
He's
fast.
totally making fun of X-Men Origins in that movie. Because that's what he did in X-Men Wolverine. He like cut the bullet in half and the bullets like killed the other two dudes around him and shit.
That's what shitty is like. I actually really liked X-Men Origins.
I
up
did too,
until that
honestly.
point. Like the ending was just so lame.
Yeah, okay. I love that movie all the way up until they revealed, the Deadpool guy.
Yeah, 'cause it did so much. It did like a way better job of like
Right.
Wolverine's like.
And if
It
you
was so
take
more
that,
badass
if you
in his
take that
creation.
Deadpool character out of there, and it was just Wolverine versus like his brother Sabretooth,
Yeah, it's a good movie.
it would have been a good movie, yeah. But they kind of like ruined that whole ending with it. And I like the whole, like, if you watch the after credit scene, like, Wolverine goes to this bar and they're like, and this bartender's like, oh, are you drinking to forget? And he's like, no, I'm drinking to remember because he got shot in the head with adamantium or whatever, so he's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
remember his past.
I never saw just the Wolverine movie where he went to like Japan. I never saw that.
You don't really have to see that movie. Did you see Logan?
No, I haven't seen Logan either. I haven't like in the superhero movie game. I know it's supposed to be really good.
Dude, if you haven't seen Logan, I can't even talk to you right now.
And I have to see it because like I'm a huge Patrick Stewart fan.
Oh,
So.
it's so fucking good. Like, that movie deserved to be nominated for an Oscar. It was that good. Like, the acting in that movie is just fucking phenomenal. And it's just, that's the kind of movie, like, that's the kind of superhero movie that deserved to be nominated for an Oscar because it's just, the acting in that movie is just so phenomenal. Like, even the little girl actor in that movie is just so good. Like, I can't, like, it just blew me away when I watched it. Like, I don't cry during movies very often, but that movie brought me to tears because that was like the last time Hugh Jackman will ever play Wolverine.
Yeah, I should add that to my list because I just got a couch, so like I'm actually I can like use my TV again and not have to like sit on the floor.
Well, I definitely recommend you watch Wolverine. If you liked Deadpool, you saw Deadpool 1, right?
Yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah, if you like that movie, this is directed by like the same kind of audience. The people they were shooting for the same audience with that movie, the second with Logan. So you'll definitely like Logan. And this is the first time you've ever seen Wolverine actually be the kind of Wolverine you want to see because he's actually fucking killing people. There's blood and guts. It's super gory, and he's like actually like going into beast rage like Wolverine mode in this movie. Like,
While we're on movies, I just rewatched the new Star Wars, and we know your opinions of it and my opinions of it. Already.
Well,
but
we'll go ahead and talk
really
about it.
interesting is like the fight scene. In spoiler alert, the fight scene where Kylo and Rey team up. Like,
Okay.
and even in Episode 7, like they've actually been showing like a lot more violence in the Star Wars movies. Which
So-
it's pretty cool.
I will agree with you. That was probably my favorite part of that whole movie was when her and Kylo got in that big fight with all those dudes in that red room. Because the visuals in that part of the movie were just fucking amazing. Because it's like this dark red room, and they're just like just killing all these dudes.
They're like their weapons are really cool. Like the guardsmen, like they had like those like they're like kind of like nunchucks.
Like
in a sense.
I can't disagree with you. Like that part of the movie was really, really cool.
Yeah, I liked everything about
But
this.
the rest of the movie
I
just
like
pissed
the
me
way
off.
they deceive Snoke too.
Mm-hmm.
Like how like he's doing the same actions he's doing to Snoke, like to Rey.
Yeah,
He
see.
deceives him.
But beyond that, I just don't like that movie, dude. I'm so disappointed by it.
Well, see, the reason I got back into that is because, like, I don't know, like, we were talking about, like, the extended universe, and we may have covered this in the last one.
That was last podcast, yeah.
Yeah, me and my buddy were, like, the other day, we rewatched it for, like, some fan theories that we had going on about it. And so we delved into that. But, yeah, I rewatched it again, and it held up a second time in my mind. It was a good movie.
Well, I've only seen it the one time in the Singapore theater, so
yeah.
I'll have to watch it again.
So
I'll get back to you on my thoughts on it the second time I watch it. But
was that dubbed in their language?
Actually, it was all in English.
Oh, that's weird.
When we watched it, but it was dubbed, like the subtitles were all in like another language.
So it was English audio though.
It was English audio. Like I think they did Chinese subtitles for it because I don't want to like say everybody in Singapore speaks Chinese, but I think that might be like one of the main languages of Singapore is Chinese. Like that's one of their, like a lot of people in Singapore speak Chinese. That's obviously not their main language because it's a bunch of different languages mixed together. But I think that's a big enough language in Singapore that they just dubbed it. They dubbed the subtitles in Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the
honestly,
movie
I
subject.
don't know
I'm
what
just
the main
looking down
language of Singapore is, but
yeah, I just looked it up. It says English, Tamil, if I'm pronouncing that correct, Malay, and Standard Mandarin.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely could have been in Mandarin.
Right. So I think the main subtitles were in Mandarin when I watched the movie.
I was like looking at our topic list, and you have in here Christopher Nolan's next movie.
Yeah, that was my next topic. So there were some rumors going around that he possibly would be directing the next James Bond movie, and I was totally on board for that. Like,
yeah, that'd be super cool.
I would totally watch that movie if he directed it. But then it came out later on. If you look it up, he said, "No, I'm not directing the next James Bond movie." It came out later on that he was not directing it. He came out publicly and said, "I am not directing the next James Bond movie." And then I was kind of like, "Oh, that's sad." So I'm really interested, like, what he's gonna make next, right? So he's done comic book, right, with Batman. He's done sci-fi.
It's the greatest comic book movie of all time, like.
Right. He's done sci-fi with Interstellar.
Yep.
He's done war epics with Dunkirk.
He's done neo-noir.
He's done neo-noir with Memento.
What would you classify Following as?
A crime movie, maybe cop crime movie.
Yeah.
He's done like Prestige. Honestly, I don't know what you would classify. What would you classify Prestige as?
I would just call that like a thriller.
A thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
it's kind of an independent movie, really.
And then Insomnia. That's definitely like a crime drama.
That was like, Insomnia was like his first movie ever.
No, Insomnia was that
might
like
be his second movie.
I'm pretty sure that came after Memento and Following.
I think. What's his first movie ever?
Following. It's like the guy that,
right.
he starts following people around.
And then it was Memento. And then Insomnia.
Yeah, Insomnia is really good.
And then after Insomnia, it was Batman Begins. And then The Dark Knight. No, actually, Batman Begins, The Prestige, The Dark Knight.
Not Interstellar.
Inception.
Inception, that's right.
And then The Dark Knight Rises. And then Interstellar. And then Dunkirk.
And then we'll see what's next.
We'll see what's next, dude. Honestly, he could go any direction and I would fucking watch whatever he puts out because he's still my favorite director.
Yeah, he hasn't put out a bad movie.
What I mean, so what was your thoughts on? I know you saw Dunkirk. What was your thoughts on Dunkirk?
Dunkirk, I think we've talked about this off the podcast, but I think we had a very similar actually, most people that I've talked to had a very similar experience about Dunkirk.
I don't think me and you've talked about it too much.
Okay. Well, most people that I know, we share the same opinion about it. It's like the movie, because we actually were lucky enough to see it in 70mm, which was really cool.
Okay, so I watched it on an airplane, so I didn't get to see in theater. because I was on deployment when it came out. But
Yeah, like one of like the bigger theaters down here in New Orleans had like the projector set up for it. So like
right.
saw it in 70 millimeter, and like visually it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The audio, obviously, coming from Hans Zimmer, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then the end of the movie, like the credits rolled, and like I wasn't convinced. Like it was this bizarre experience because like I just watched some amazing stuff, but I didn't have the same feeling.
I'm glad. See, I'm so glad you feel the same way as I do.
Yeah.
So for me, I just felt the movie was really good. Right. I liked great visuals. Of course, he always has great visuals in his movies. Great music. His music is always top fucking notch. Hans Zimmer can't beat that fucking conductor. He always just like plays to the
amazing.
fucking scene. Like, you can't beat Hans Zimmer. As far as the movie goes, I was a little disappointed. Like, I felt like I was a little underwhelmed by the movie.
But see, here's where I think we're different. Is like I drove home,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like still like the movie was like on my mind like for like a good day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was laying in bed and like it's almost like it all kind of clicked. Like it was like I got like a real like weird emotional response from it. Like it kind of like made a lot more sense. Like the movie.
I'm gonna have to watch it a second time around because
for me,
obviously watching it on
makes,
an airplane is not the right way to experience that movie. But
yeah, well, like what was crazy is because like once I got it out of my head, it was about like characters and it was like about an event.
mm-hmm.
It all made sense type thing. Like like it
Right.
wasn't about. It was like he just like photographed this thing, and it was almost like the generic emotions that
Right.
like happened in the event, not of like in the individuals. So that was really cool actually. Like the movie grew on me a lot after I.
Yeah, if I watched it a second time around, I'd probably appreciate it a little bit more. That's the thing with Christopher Nolan movies. I always gotta watch it at least twice to get like the full reaction for me out of it.
Well, and what's crazy is like certain movies of his like they keep getting better every time I watch them.
Right.
Like they never get like
Inception. Okay, Inception and Interstellar. Those are two movies I could watch over and over and over again, and still to this day, I will preach by those movies because I feel like those are just fucking cinematographic like achievements because they're just so great.
If I had to put mine not by my favorite Christopher Nolan movies, but like my favorite rewatchability movies, for me it's gonna have to be Memento, The Prestige, and Insomnia.
Right.
Like
So I've
Insomnia,
only
Insomnia for
seen
me is the
Memento.
oddball.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Insomnia for me is like the oddball movie because like I'd say it's the most like normal.
This is the most normal movie. he's
Yeah,
ever
it's the
made.
most normal movie, but like it's almost has like the Memento effect where like each time you watch it, you notice like the little details he put
Right.
in that you never would have picked up on at the beginning ever.
So for me, like, I've only seen Memento and Insomnia like once each because
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love Memento. That's a great movie. It's just very, very heavy, like, as far as watching it. I watched it really late when I first watched it, like, late at night. It was like a tired movie. Like, I was like, oh, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. I have to watch it because I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fanboy. So I'm going to watch it, obviously, because I've watched every single one of the movies he's ever made. I've watched it. But
Wait, that movie's definitely it's weird because like if you watch it especially at night, there's no soundtrack. Like there's
Right.
very minimal soundtrack.
yeah, it doesn't even have a subject, I don't think.
Well, like there's the ending song, and then like what's interesting is like the end credit song is the same David Bowie song in American Psycho.
Have you ever looked at the map? Like, there's like a timeline map that they made of Memento that like shows you the whole like I guess the whole movie like in order, but it also shows like the backward order since it shows you the end and then it goes to the beginning and then basically like every other scene is like
It meets in the middle.
it meets in the middle, right?
Wait, actually,
That's
on
so
the
fucking
DVD
like
and,
crazy to think about. Like
on the DVD and the Blu-ray, there's like a certain combination you can put in like of button presses, like in like you hit certain buttons and certain like hidden buttons.
let me see if I can find like the actual Memento. Like I found this like map of it, right?
Yeah. Well, like what I'm saying is like if you get the DVD, it like will do it for you, and it puts every scene it just sorts it in chronological order. So it would be like it'd be color, black and white, color, black and white. Instead of like, it would do the same thing as like the same order, but it would be like in chronological. So you wouldn't watch it.
So I'm about to throw this up in the podcast. Let me know if you've ever seen this little like image. This is the actual thing that Christopher Nolan made of the movie for the movie.
Yeah, okay, I've seen this. So it gives you like the start in order, and then the time of each scene,
right?
And then the color, and then plot points of what's going on.
But just like. Think about this. This is crazy to the fact that this movie, that somebody had to actually fucking sit down and make this in order to understand the movie. Like, really?
Yeah, I mean,
it's just crazy. It's just crazy to think about. Like, that is some serious writing.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
definitely to split a script up like that.
Right. Hey, we hit the 30-minute mark. Ready to do a beer cheers?
Yep, beer cheers it up.
Beer cheers, dude.
Woo!
I can't believe we've been talking about like Christopher Nolan some time, but beer cheers.
Dude, it's rad. Actually, like, you want to like kind of give it like just a little gist of Memento, because like we're talking about this like super complicated shit.
It's an old movie, to be honest.
Yeah, but let's give like a quick gist of Memento.
So basically, this guy has dementia, so he forgets like
he has what's it called? Anterograde amnesia.
Right, so he forgets what happens like immediately.
Only in the short term, though.
Yeah, right. He only forgets short-term memories. So he constantly, like, his wife was murdered by somebody, and he's trying to figure out who murdered his wife. So every day he like tattoos something on his body to remember like what happened that day or something like that. And he's trying to figure out, like, piece together like what happened to his wife. And the movie, like, starts from the end, right?
In
color. So all the color scenes happen, like, backwards, right?
Well, it's not like you watch them as, like, as time is progressing, but the scenes shift from, you watch, like, a 2-minute scene from the very end. Then the movie will shift to the very beginning of the movie in black and white.
And then
then the next scene is one scene before the last color scene you saw in color, but then the next scene will move forward in black and white.
And basically, this guy Leonard is trying to figure out like what happened to his wife. He's trying to solve the crime, but you see what he does at the end, right in the beginning of the movie.
Like, so there's like, what's crazy is there's a plot twist, even though you've already seen.
You've seen what happens,
yeah.
Already,
and like when it all comes together, it's like. What's weird is, like, it comes together and you kind of figure out the end. Like, it's not so much like, I'd say, The Prestige. I'm not going to spoil it, but The Prestige, like, the last minute, your jaw drops. It's mind-blowing.
Right.
Whereas I'd say, like, the last 10 minutes of Memento, which is why I appreciate the movie so much, you figure out what's going on, but it's so...
But it's like you realize you knew.
Yeah, everything starts to come together, and your mind like is piecing together everything you just saw.
Yeah.
And it's honestly overwhelming, like, the first time I saw it.
Oh, so then you realize, like, everything just comes together, like, at the end. Like, that makes sense why he did what he did at the end of the movie when he first saw it versus the beginning of the movie, like, how he got to that point, basically.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. I'd have to highly recommend it to you guys. Yeah. Throw, like, your favorite Christopher Nolan movies down in the comments. Or just your favorite
Justin, what's your favorite Christopher Nolan movie?
Definitely for me, it's going to have to be Memento. Even if, like, he's put out some great movies, for me, it was, like, I literally, like, it's bizarre. I can watch that movie, and I still, to this day, every time I watch the movie, have noticed a little something different.
Right.
And it makes the experience that much more enjoyable because at this point, it's, like, almost like a cult movie for me.
Yeah.
But I kind of hype Memento a lot. If I had to give, like, an honorable mention or, like, a number 2.
For me, so... Love Memento. Memento's a great movie, but it's not my favorite Christopher Nolan movie.
I know what your favorite movie is.
It's so hard for me, but I have to say it's a tie between Inception and Interstellar. Those are like my 2 favorite Christopher Nolan movies. I love Inception because the concept of it is just so like great. Like the dream concept of it is just amazing, you know. And then Interstellar, nobody's ever pushed the boundaries of sci-fi like Christopher Nolan has with Interstellar. Like, His whole
I'd say
his whole basis for that movie was that love conquers everything. Who's ever made a movie with sci-fi saying that love conquers everything? You know what I mean?
well, what's really crazy about that movie is kind of ties into the love thing. Is like, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely. I've never watched a movie like that, especially in a theater.
Mm.
And like that movie just it hits you right.
It hits you, dude.
It's
Like-
it's honestly like just like thinking like you can
The
conjure
part-
it in your head like Matthew McConaughey
Right.
seeing his son
his son and his
outlive him.
daughter's messages that he's missed. Like, he's only been gone, not even like, it's probably like 10 minutes in the movie, but he's been gone like 23 years or something like that. And he sees these messages from his kid, and he just breaks down because his kids have already lived their whole lives, and he's already missed it, like, in like 5 minutes of his life. It's crazy.
That's why that's such a good sci-fi movie, because like sci-fi was made to like
Right.
you feel
And then,
like react to things that are happening in the present,
mhm.
but put them under a guise of like the future and like technology,
And then
like that
Hans-
the movie does it perfectly.
And then Hans Zimmer's soundtrack in that movie is just,
Oh yeah.
I've never experienced a soundtrack that's made me feel.
Is, like, the best song of the whole movie.
What song?
The No Time for Caution, the docking song.
Oh my god! Like, I've never felt something out of music as much as that soundtrack made me feel. Like, it brought me to tears. It just makes me. It's just like that's how much it affected me.
Well, also plot twist. Another spoiler alert. But Matt Damon, they didn't bit like. How did they keep Matt Damon under
oh my
wraps?
god, dude! Matt Damon, he's a fucking genius.
Yeah,
dude.
and but they kept him under wraps the whole movie. Like,
I had
one
no
knew-
idea he was gonna be in that movie,
and
and
he
then
just
like
shows up.
he just shows up, and I was like, "Holy fuck, that's Matt Damon!"
Yeah, like
I laughed
that
so
was
hard.
mind blowing. And like all my friends that I saw the movie with, we had the same reaction. We were freaking out, like, "Oh shit, Matt Damon!" And Matt Damon, all the actors in that movie are first off incredible. But
Top
you can
notch,
sense,
Top notch.
not even from like the music or like the film, but like Matt Damon's like aura. You know he's a bad guy the moment you see him.
Yes, and that's the thing about Christopher Nolan, dude. He just knows how to set up a movie like his.
Yeah.
That's I inspire to be that kind of filmmaker one day. Like, that's how I want to be if I ever get to make a film. He's like my biggest inspiration for a film. He knows how to do the visual.
I love Christopher Nolan too, but like it's honestly with him a family affair. You have to give credit to Jonathan.
Oh,
You
of
have to
course,
give credit
of
to
course.
Clive.
Like, they know how to write movies. They know how to
Yeah.
direct movies. They know how to do the
Produce
visual.
movies.
They know Hans Zimmer. They know Hans Zimmer is gonna make like a perfect soundtrack for any movie he conducts music for. He just knows how to use all the aspects of a movie and put it together to make a perfect fucking movie. Like, even Dunkirk, which wasn't my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, it's probably like one of my least favorite Christopher Nolan movies. He still used that soundtrack to a T. That like whole little like.
Yeah, they had the
time.
themes.
Oh,
And I don't want to come off as like, first off, you're gonna have to name this episode in like quotes. The
basically.
Christopher Nolan episode. You're gonna have to do it.
The whole
But,
first 40 minutes is just us fanboying over Christopher Nolan.
yeah, I'm fine with that. But like, first off, you're gonna have to put this in parentheses. and second, I don't want to come off as like the Christopher Nolan fanboy. He's definitely like in my like.
he's
in
my
right there.
number one director for me. But.
I don't know if I could put him in my top directors, and I'm not trying to say he's like the greatest director either, because like, it's a hard label to pin on someone. People make excellent movies, but what I will give Christopher Nolan is he hasn't made a bad movie, and if you can go into his movies knowing that it might not be the greatest, the most artsy, this or that, but it's gonna be like it's gonna provoke thought, it's gonna provoke emotion, and you're gonna get a well done movie.
Right.
That's really what I have to say about.
You're
Christopher
gonna
Nolan.
enjoy it, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, I think we should move on from this topic because we spent like 40 minutes almost talking about Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah, you guys just drop some Christopher Nolan comments in the, drop some Christopher Nolan comments, definitely.
So fast food. Any fast food to talk about this week?
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Wendy's.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, because like Wendy's, and I see what we have next up on the list, and like this is funny because these are both kind of like tying to each other. But I don't know, like there's not much like good fast food around here besides Cane's we talked about in the last episode.
Right.
But like Wendy's is dependable, man. Like if you know, like you need a quick bite, like the Wendy's down here, like bless up the New Orleans Wendy's, like you guys are there when no one else is. That's all I have to say. You get a good burger, you get fries, you get a Frosty.
I had Wendy's this week too. Oh my god, I had a Baconator and it was just like, because I didn't get to eat breakfast, right?
Fast food.
Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I'd say for like national fast food, I'll let you finish in just a second. But for like a national chain, Wendy's has the best burger for like a nationwide chain, hands down.
Well, I was gonna say like I didn't get to eat breakfast that day, and I was so hungry. And I looked up like real quick, like where's the nearest fast food because I just need something to eat real quick while I wait. It's a long story why I had to eat fast food this week, but I had a lot of fast food this week. Anyways, I drove real quick over to Wendy's, ate it, and I'm just like, oh, I haven't had a Wendy's burger in forever. And it just tasted so damn good. Like, burger, I had a Baconator. Burger, square burger, cooked to perfection. Bacon, cooked to perfection, tasted great. Like, oh.
They have amazing bacon, and their buns are so nice.
Sea salt fries. Oh my god, that's such a
their fries too. Like the only thing that can beat Wendy's fries is like properly cooked McDonald's fries. That's it.
Yeah.
But Wendy's fries.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like those, that's a good competition right there. Like best.
It is a good
fast food
competition.
fries.
Here's the thing, though: is like when you go to McDonald's, you know one thing: the Coke is going to be better than any other fountain Coke you get. It's going to have the best fountain Coke, and it's going to have awesome fries. Like that's a hard combo to beat.
So the other thing I was going to bring up was Dick's this week.
Yeah,
I didn't have Dick's this week, but
you didn't. I haven't had Dick's in like.
I wanted to bring it up because it was probably about 2, 3, or 4 weeks ago. I was hanging out with Patrick, who was on the podcast last week. And
real quick on Patrick though, for all you guys that are wondering if you're Patrick fans out there, we should have him on like next week or the week after. I think.
Yeah. He's on vacation this week. He couldn't be on this week, unfortunately. I think he's going to be a regular, so you might as well just count him as a regular.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to have Patrick on as a regular. Patrick, if you're watching, shout out to you.
Yeah, Pat, we're giving you a shout out.
We'll see
you next week when you come back on. But what I was going to say is me and Patrick went to Dick's.
Yep.
Because we were hanging out, and we're like, well, I'm really hungry. It's like probably about like 3 o'clock p.m. or whatever. We're both really hungry, and we're like, well, what do we want? Because he's like, there's a Thai food place down the street. He's like, but there's also a Dick's even closer to me, like maybe like 2 minutes away from me. And I'm like, well, while I love Thai food, and I swear by Thai food every day, you know me, I swear by Thai food. Like I've told you a million times, I love Thai food. But I was like, I need a Dick's burger today. And we went to Dick's. I got 2 Dick's Deluxe burgers and a french fry and a Coke. And it was just the most amazing combination of food I've had in a long time. Like,
yeah, I love Dick's so much. Hey, did you guys go to the Dick's in Wallingford?
No, this was in Silver Lake, which I've never been to this Dick's before.
Silver Lake. I'm trying to think of where that is.
That's where Patrick lives.
Well, so it's
I'm not gonna give you the exact location.
Well, yeah, it's not the one though, like right across the street from the U District, right? Okay.
Honestly, like I said, I've never been to this Dick's before. It was a new Dick's before me. Like for me, so. The one I usually go to the Dick's in we usually go to the one in like Edmonds, right?
Yeah, that's like my go-to because it's
right.
The closest.
Yeah, that's the closest one, but.
All right. Actually,
I was gonna bring up. Hold on, one more fast on the topic of fast food.
Hold on, wait. I know you're gonna bring up. Let me. Actually, I have a question to ask you about Dick's. If you ever find yourself at the Dick's though, in Wallingford, there's a place you guys have to go. If you're actually from the U District or Seattle area, you guys already know about this. But it's like right over the bridge when you go over to the U District. Right underneath it, on North Lake, Ivor Salmon House. That place is badass, man. You guys have to go there. It's like Ivar's, but it's like a really it's like crafted like an old like Native American like gathering hall, I'd say.
Right.
And they have like such good fish, amazing clam chowder. We've had halibut there before, but yeah, definitely check that place out. Yeah,
Cool.
bring up what you're gonna say because I know it's gonna be excellent.
Well, you know what I'm gonna rather bring up?
Oh, I know,
Jimmy John's.
dude. I love Jimmy
I
John's, man.
fucking love Jimmy John's.
Oh man, sorry.
This
so
is like
Jimmy
the greatest
John's,
sandwich place I think. Okay, so Subway, Quiznos, Firehouse Subs, Jersey Mike's, and Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's destroys all of them.
I don't know though because I love Jersey Mike's too though.
Okay, well I'll put Jersey Mike's to the side because I've never had Jersey Mike's, but I've had everything else, and Jimmy John's destroys everything else. Jimmy John's
It's
is
so good.
incredible. Like I hope you the guys listening have a Jimmy John's near you. It's cheap. It's so fast. It's so good. They have cherry Coke on tap. Like, what more could you want? A sandwich,
and then when you
a bag of
jimmy it
chips, and a
up,
cherry Coke.
when you jimmy that shit up, it's just
Yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah, oh man, Jimmy John's. That shit is wild, man.
Yeah, it's good, dude.
What's your go-to sandwich there? Like, for me,
Honestly, I would have to look it up because I don't even know. Like, I don't have it memorized.
yeah, I get like the same thing every time. I get a number one, which is the Pepe. It's a ham sandwich, and I get it jimmied up, and then I usually add. I think that one doesn't come with tomatoes, or it does. That one comes with tomatoes, but if I get a chicken one, they have like a chicken bacon club. I get tomatoes on it jimmied up, and then I make sure it has like mayo and mustard, like because they have like the finest of the sandwich ingredients. Best food mayo for use on the West Coast, or Hellman's on the East Coast. They have like that French fucking Dijon mustard, which is so good. Like everything's like cut fresh. There's no like ovens in the whole place.
So
Their bread is so good, man. People that don't like their bread, it baffles me.
oh, that's the best part of their sandwich, I think.
Yeah,
is
it's
the
so
bread.
good.
It's just like it crunches when you bite into it, and that's how bread should be.
But it's still soft on the inside.
But it's still soft on the inside.
Yeah,
And that's what matters.
and I think like the secret to their success is like, it's like the same thing with Dick's. Like Dick's has the philosophy of you take a couple things and you do it excellent. Jimmy John's is the same way.
Right.
Like I've actually been in a Jimmy John's. Here's a little story for you. I've been in a Jimmy John's, like our local one down here, in the New Orleans area. And someone came in one time and they ordered a sandwich. It was like an older man and his wife, and he was trying to get him to heat the sandwich up. He's like, I want this sandwich hot. And they're like, sir, we don't heat sandwiches up. We only do cold sandwich. He's like, why can't you heat my sandwich up? He's like, we don't have ovens in here. It keeps things simple. And he started throwing a fit because he wanted a sandwich
You
hot.
wanted a hot sandwich?
Yeah, he wanted a hot sandwich. We're like, we don't do that.
We don't
And
do
like,
hot sandwiches.
everyone in the store started getting mad. Like, like you're haggling us. You're yelling. Like, tone it down, man. we had to like jump in. We're like, get out of here, man. Like, he's like yelling at the employees. We're like, you got to get out of our kingdom, our sandwich kingdom. Like, causing a scene, man.
If you want a good hot sub, Firehouse Sub.
Dude, honestly, for me, I've only had Firehouse once, but if I'm gonna go with the hot sub, I'm gonna go into Quiznos.
See, I don't like Quiznos. I just feel like it's just too generic.
I haven't had Quiznos in a very long time.
It's been a few years.
Because
Honestly,
most of them are shut down.
I'm gonna hold this thought because I'm gonna have to try Quiznos again before I have an honest opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's still one open down here. And I remember like they're like $4. I think they call them like torpedoes, and you always get shit at Quiznos toasted. Quiznos, I remember the last time I had it was really good. That was actually Burlington on the
I think for the next
to the
next
Blockbuster across from
podcast.
the Fred Meyer.
So, Justin, next week,
Yeah.
go to Quiznos, try it.
All right.
I'll go and try it, and then on the next podcast we'll give a little review. Or
Actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able
Thoughts
to go to Quiznos this next podcast. Actually, if any of our viewers are willing to comment, our comments say, we're still new, we haven't had any comments yet. But if you guys, anyone in the Cali area, you need me to recommend a restaurant. So I think this fast food segment's going to become pretty regular. We're going to update our
I think
our food escapades.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm trying to do like a first hour of the podcast, or not first hour, but like first few minutes of the podcast. We'll talk about like what fast food we've had for the week or whatever.
Yeah, or just food in general.
One thing I forgot to bring up. So I had Carl's Jr. this week, right?
Yeah,
For the first time in probably like 6, 7, 8 years. And it honestly, I'll give it a like 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, around there.
You'll give it like a, as like, you know, Anthony Fantana would say, like a solid, or like what, a strong 6, light 7.
Right, yeah. Because it tasted like a Burger King burger, to be honest with you. Which isn't a bad thing, because it tasted good.
But it's not a great thing.
But it's not a great thing either.
A Burger King burger is like, it's nostalgic because it tastes like you're at like a family cookout. That's what a Burger King burger tastes like.
Yeah, it's like if your dad sat there and made a burger on.
But like they're not like nice beef patties, they're like the frozen ones you get at like, you know, like Costco or something. That's what Burger King tastes like.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, what I was saying is, anyone out there, if you know you guys are in the Cali area and you have some food to try, I'm going to be in Southern California for about 2 days this upcoming week. So hit me with some suggestions and we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Right.
Yep, definitely.
For sure. All right, I think it's time to move on from fast food. We've kind of...
Yeah. Let me look at... You mind if I pick the next topic? I'm just going to scan this list here.
It's up to you, man.
Unless you think of anything just off the fly, but...
Go ahead.
That's a good one. So, like, give me your top shows on Netflix, Hulu, or Funimation, or all three.
Okay, so for Netflix, favorite like top show on Netflix.
Yep.
It's got to be Breaking Bad, because that's where I first watched Breaking Bad.
Oh, give me 2 seconds. Hold that thought. Are we talking about our all-time favorites on Netflix, or are we watching stuff we're currently watching?
You want to talk about recent stuff?
Yeah, recent, but we can still bring up our favorites because, like, I like where this is going.
Okay, well, so all-time favorite on Netflix is gotta be Breaking Bad. Recent stuff that I've been watching on Netflix. What did I watch recently on Netflix? I'm trying to think. Honestly, dude, you're gonna make fun of me, but I've been watching a lot of rom-coms lately on Netflix.
Yeah, you would tell me, man. You would say you get like deep in your feelings about this.
Yeah,
stuff.
Because I've been feeling really like. I don't want to go too far into it, but I watched this movie called The First Time on Netflix, and it just hit me emotionally. Like, I was just thinking, like, God damn, I wish I was this dude, like, in this movie, because I just love the actress in that movie. Just,
yeah,
it just hit me, like, emotionally. But okay, so for Hulu, my favorite Hulu show or movie, obviously it's got to be Steven Universe for Hulu.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Close second would be Rick and Morty. And then I'll just give a little extra shout out for Hulu. I watch Workaholics too, and I've been watching that show a lot recently. I think I'm on like season 6 of 8 of that show, and that show just cracks me up. I fucking love that show. And then Funimation, I just finished Hellsing, which I watched on your recommendation.
Yeah.
Great fucking anime.
Yeah, actually, we haven't talked a lot about that because I was actually in Nevada for that. What were your thoughts on Hellsing Ultimate?
Oh my god, Ultimate. That was a good ass show. Like, so I'm not a huge like anime watcher. I think I've only really like followed maybe three animes maybe my whole life: Dragon Ball Z, Death Note, and Attack on Titan, which I'm still watching. And then I guess number 4 would have to be Hellsing, because Hellsing was just so fucking good. Like, I just got into that show, and I just love the like crazy animations, like when he'd go off on people and start ripping them apart, and he'd be like shooting people, and his fucking little vampire assistant, what was her name? I just forgot her name. Saris.
Well,
yeah.
Hold on, forget too deep. Give a quick recap of what Hellsing is for those who don't know.
Hellsing, okay, so basically like, it takes place like, I guess, modern times kind of ish.
I think based on the manga, it takes place in like the mid 90s, like around 95 or 6.
So basically, the Van Helsing, like after he defeated Dracula kind of became his like servant. So he vowed to like serve the Helsing family. And And then, like, this girl, Integra Helsing, she's, like, closely related to Helsing. I think she's, like, his great-granddaughter, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, either granddaughter or great-granddaughter.
So she, like, she's getting attacked by her sibling, or her like,
uncle,
family. They're trying to kill her.
Seat of the family.
Right. They want to kill her because they want to take control of the Helsing Corporation, but she wakes up Dracula, and he ends up saving her and like killing the bad guys who are trying to kill her and stuff. What?
Alucard.
Yeah, Alucard. Well, that's his like.
Yeah, that's his like his
code name or whatever.
Yeah, you could say.
So and then like basically this corporation like fights all the evil in the world or whatever, and then like the Nazis make a comeback, and they're trying to like take over the world again.
They're
and
fighting
stuff.
the Catholics.
Yeah, and it's like basically Catholics versus like. Well, what would you say like Anderson is? Is he a part of the Catholic Church? Or...
Well, like I don't know, like that's why I really enjoy the show. Is like it used to be for the organizations like back in the day, like the Protestants versus the Catholics, but like that's like why it was so interesting. So it was like the English government versus like the Catholics, but it wasn't like really the Catholics because like the Pope really didn't like what they were doing.
They kind of teamed up to fight the Nazis. And...
Yeah, like the Nazi vampire zombies.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It's just fucking crazy. Like all these different things going on. It was just like a really it's your typical like anime as far as the animation style goes, because it gets like, kind of weird at points where like the animation looks like really weird, but the storyline is so good. It just like it gets you like hooked. You want to know what's going to happen next and stuff. And I'm not going to give anything away.
I had to binge at the last 4 episodes of that show.
Yeah, like I think like the last 3 or 4 hours of the show, I like just sat and watched back to back because I was just
it just builds up so intense. But I'm definitely glad you watched Hellsing because I'm definitely not into anime. I'm like your total normie. Like before the Navy, never watched it.
Exactly, yeah.
And when
I never watched it before the Navy either. But then I met a lot of people that watch anime, and they kind of
everyone was like, "You gotta watch Dragon Ball. You gotta watch Dragon Ball Z." And like, I was like, "Fuck it, I'll watch Dragon Ball Z." Watched it from Dragon Ball to where we are now, Super.
Right.
And and then like I was like, "That's pretty cool." And then
of course, you never seen like Death Note or
that's like Dragon Ball's all I'd seen. But like there was like there's always that one guy. We were on watch one night, and he's like, "Dude, you got to check this out." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like a diehard dude. Like he had all the Hellsing OVAs like on Blu-ray remastered, and we just sat there and watched like 3 of them. And I was like, "This is insane!" Like it was so good, man.
Nice. All right.
Let me give a quick.
What was your? Sorry, because I did my favorite Netflix, Hulu, Funimation. What's your favorite Netflix, Hulu, Funimation?
I'm not really watching anything currently, so I guess I'll just give like my recent ones or like my top. But like, I'm gonna have to definitely agree with you on Netflix. I haven't caught up on Better Call Saul, but like the first season was really good, especially to like follow in the footsteps of Breaking Bad, because Breaking Bad is incredible. I have like a huge queue of stuff I need to watch on Netflix. I haven't, and I'm upset about it. Hulu, definitely I'm in it for the cartoons. That's how I watched all a regular show. I'm catching up on Adventure Time, or I caught up on Adventure Time. And then Hulu is where I also watched Over the Garden Wall. And what's like, I have that like the soundtrack of that. I just pulled it out, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, like Over the Garden Wall was like one of it's such good animation, such good soundtrack. A great animation.
That's like a crazy cinematic achievement right there.
Actually, I got one for Netflix. Wilfred. Wilfred is
I forgot about Wilfred, dude. I love that show.
Wilfred
that show had me in like a slump though after I watched it for so long.
It got me in like honestly like a depressed state, man.
Yeah.
Because it hits so close to home when
it's like so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, like Wilfred is such a good show.
And
Jonathan Gann is so good.
I was hoping for like a happy ending, but it just wasn't a happy ending. It was just
they didn't give it to you. I don't even want to like really. I'll give a brief overview of Wilfred, but I highly recommend if you guys are gonna watch a show. It's really short. It's very witty. Go check out Wilfred. It's a man. He's a lawyer, Elijah Wood. He's like super down on his luck. He hates life. He's just a depressed guy, and he tries to kill himself.
Yeah.
He was like by taking pills, but like it turns out the pills didn't work, and he wakes up the next day, and his neighbor is trying to get him to watch his dog. And he's like, yeah, whatever, I'll watch your dog. And when he looks at the dog, it's just a dude in a dog costume, and he has an Australian accent, and he just loves to like smoke pot. And you don't know if this is like in his head, or you don't know if like this is like some kind of like entity or like power that only the dog has or he has.
Right.
And it starts out really lighthearted, but the show takes a dark turn, has some really dark storytelling, and it gets really deep in like the human like psyche. I'd say like it's just it really goes deep. But I really recommend Wilfred.
Yeah, me too. That show had me just. I felt so depressed after I watched that show. Like it just made me so upset.
Yeah, I'm actually like I was thinking about rewatching it because I have season 4. I bought it, and that's the show I actually want to get like all on Blu-ray. I need to have all that show.
Well, we've reached the 1 hour mark, so let's do a quick cheers.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers. Oh, you picked the next little talking point because I think we gave some good recommendations on and stuff.
All right, well let's talk about PUBG a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
I'm excited in PUBG, but I'm to be honest, I haven't played PUBG in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. This has been like crazy. So Patrick and I, we spent a lot of time on that Savage map.
Oh, yeah, okay, you actually got in.
We actually got a chance to play it a little bit.
I'm curious.
That map was fucking crazy, dude. I'm never like. Okay, so everything's really close together, right?
Yeah.
Like when you jump somewhere, you're gonna land near somebody no matter what. Like,
is it really as small as they say it is?
Yeah. There's just no way. There's no way getting around it. You're gonna land near somebody. Like you just can't get out. There's just no way getting around it. Like you're gonna land near someone. But the loot is crazy as fuck, right? You're gonna get your level 2 helmet. You're gonna get your level 2 backpack. You're gonna get your SCAR, your AK, whatever you want. You know, you're gonna get all that stuff. Like no matter where you jump, you're gonna get all the stuff that you need for it. And basically, it just turns into a big like who can shoot faster map, pretty much. That's why it was so crazy. Like,
how many rounds you guys play? Like, you know, like a whole night's worth.
I mean, we played a lot of rounds, and we were getting really, really frustrated on that map because we would just die so fast. Like it was just crazy. Like sometimes we'd spawn in, boom, instantly die because somebody would get a gun before we could get a gun, kind of thing.
Out of the time you had. Like, you know, obviously, like from what I've heard, you have to master the parachute in. But what would you say like the overall strategy of the game is? Like stealth, aggression. Like
it's more like getting set up and getting like just get into a strategic position before your enemies get into that position.
So really, just like you have to be on your map place.
You got to be fast. You got to know where you're going. You got to know what you're doing real quick.
So you call it less forgiving than the other maps?
Yes.
Okay.
But you're gonna get there's no doubt you're gonna get what loot you need for that map. Mm-hmm. Like it's just
it's almost more skill based.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing is like you don't even need like a 4x scope in that map. If you get it like a 2x scope, you're set in that map because
that's awesome.
This is how close together it was. I don't know if you saw this whole new thing. Like, I just read an article right before we came on the podcast about how they're changing the whole aspect of PUBG, where you're no longer going to be able to pick up level 3 helmets or whatever. The only way to get them is in crates now, like loot crates to drop. And then they're trying to change like all the guns to where they're all equal, not just like people going for assault rifles, but if you get like a pistol and a shotgun or whatever, it's gonna be equal no matter what gun you have. Like, so what I was just curious, like, what do you think about that?
That'd be a huge shakeup for like the way the game plays. It'd almost be like, I wouldn't call it more like Fortnite, but it's definitely a shift from the game, like what it's known for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. I know, like, they've been really trying, like, new modes out with, like, the event mode. Like, you know, you saw the most recent event mode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the armored Jeep. That was pretty cool. But, yeah, that seems just like a radical departure from what they're used to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you played the last event that they did, but they did this thing where it was, like, you just drop down, you already started with guns, so you didn't have to go like run around looking for them. But you had to like survive or whatever, and the circle was already really small, so like you had to land inside the circle basically, and then you could respawn and stuff. So if you died, you'd respawn in like 40 seconds, I think it was. Did you get to play that at all?
I played like 2 matches of the shotgun map, and that's about it. I didn't get to play the war mode at all. Yeah, I've really been out of the PUBG loop. Like with this current work schedule I got, like I know you know about it. It's like I get home and I have to really prioritize games. So I've been like diving. I mean, really actually like trying to get like finish Far Cry 5. So I have not finished Far Cry 5 at all. Like I only have one boss defeated. So like that's been a big thing for me. How far are you in that game?
I beat the first person. So I killed the first leader or whatever, which was for me. It was the what's his name? He's the youngest brother, John, I think was his name.
Yeah. Because like the main character is what, Joseph?
Yeah, he's the main.
And John is like the televangelist guy, right?
Honestly, I can't even like. I just know he's the bottom left of the map in that corner.
Yeah. He's the guy. He's the Just Say Yes guy.
Yeah. Just Say Yes guy.
Yeah, and he has like he's like all about like torture and stuff. Like when he captures you. Yeah, that guy was a pretty good character. I went after the drug lady for.
Well, let's do a quick transition into music or whatever.
Music?
Yeah. Go ahead, right, man. What do you listen to recently?
This is like a new subject for me, so I guess I'll bring up what I've been listening to. See, it'll almost be like a little update. Let's see, Ghost put out a new track from their upcoming album called Rats. Really was into that track. I'm a huge Ghost fan. They're an awesome live show. And it's like this 80s like Sabbath, Alice Cooper type like metal feel to it. So like that was really cool. Definitely a big fan of that. Looking forward to the new album. I've been listening to a lot of like getting back into punk, all eras of punk. I was listening to obviously NoFX, Black Flag, Social Distortion, Bad Religion, and that's actually super cool because I'm going to a NoFX concert here in actually like 2 weeks. I think we're going to one in Texas. And you guys going to be at Punk and Drublick in Texas. Hit me up. I'm super stoked for that. I love Spotify because they give you these like group daily mixes. But I've been back into classical music, a lot of like piano music. And then I think I showed you, Corey. I think I showed you a lot of like some Pixies stuff because I've been really getting back into the Pixies. Yeah.
For me, I've been listening to a lot of the Cranberries lately. Like, I've just been so addicted to their music. Like, it's just been getting me, like, in the mood lately. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
It just hit me perfectly. Like, I just love that music. And then obviously I've been listening to a lot of country lately because I'm going to the country music concert with my friend lately. So I'm been kind of getting into country music. I know nobody like. You don't like country music. Most people don't like country music, but
I wouldn't say I don't like country music. I'm just not into the whole new country movement. There is some good new country. I'm more into like Cash and Towns and stuff.
Right, yeah. That's totally respectable. But
did you hear the new Ghost single?
I did. Rats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to it.
You like it? Was it all right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was. I think it'll appeal to more people that aren't like used to their music, I guess.
Yeah, it's not as like, it's a heavier like tone song, but it's not like the Satan lyrics aren't as like intense.
Mm-hmm. So somebody that like wouldn't normally listen to their music would probably be able to get into that music or that song more, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys. Your up, your new music you've been listening to, your favorites. Drop that in there. We might bring it up in the next episode. We might make music a new little segue. Let me look at the list here. See what else we got. I see you threw in some REM lyrics here. That's what I see correctly. I've been listening to a lot of them.
Oh, I have actually been listening to REM lately. Huge fan of their music. It's really good, actually. It's like early, that early '90s kind of rock. So
yeah, definitely like some early alternative. I like a lot of their songs. Also, I see you put some New Orleans news in here. New Orleans approved first marijuana pharmacy.
Yeah,
I have to look into that. But is that medicinal or is that recreational?
So that was a medicinal thing.
Okay.
So they approved their first legal marijuana thing. So they're making movements towards that way. Obviously, where I'm at in Washington here, it's 100% legal if you're 21 or older.
Yeah, see, that's like wild because Louisiana, they're a super, super conservative state.
Mm.
So I didn't expect that was really shocked me when I first heard that.
Yeah, when I saw that anyways online, I was like, holy crap, that's crazy.
What's wild is this last election cycle, how many states legalized, man. Even in medicinal or recreational. I know that pretty much the whole West Coast now, you can smoke recreationally, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of were set the forefront of that in Washington and Colorado and stuff, and Californians have had their medicinal loopholes for a while, but even branched out to I think Massachusetts is recreational now. DC totally legal. I don't know how long it's going to be until the whole country it's just not criminal act anymore.
Right, and that's the thing. They haven't legalized it for recreational use. They just finally opened up their first
dispensary, pretty much.
If you have a card to buy it, you can buy it at this pharmacy or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty wild for New Orleans stuff. I mean, alcohol's a big thing here, but I never thought I'd be down here to see that happen.
Yeah, no, I read a little further into it, and it said don't expect Louisiana to do the whole recreational law anytime soon or anything.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. New Orleans though, New Orleans is it's almost it's like the Seattle, you could say, or any big city of a more conservative state.
Mm.
So it's definitely I can see it happening here, but not out anywhere else. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. You got any other final topics you want to hit on, man?
Let's see here. So, at the time that I wrote the script, Coachella had just wrapped up its first weekend. It's pretty cool.
That sucks.
Coachella does kind of suck only if you're into that kind of stuff.
I haven't even followed up on it this year. I didn't check the
either.
lineup. Once I saw we talked about it last week. Good for the yodeling kid.
Yeah.
It's man, they're trying. They're really trying pulling that beat up there.
Let's see. So NASA launched a new TESS satellite to seek out alien life.
So that was TSS?
Yeah.
TESS?
You can look that up if you want to look. But
Exoplanet Hunter. Transiting exoplanet survey satellite. I want to look into this because that's actually pretty interesting.
It's really interesting.
Discover thousands of exoplanets in orbit around the brightest stars in the sky. In a 2-year survey of the neighborhood, TESS will monitor more than 200,000 stars for temporary drops in bright... Okay, I think I read into this.
Mm.
So pretty much the satellite, at the most basic fucking level, it looks at really bright objects and then looks for shadows almost, or planets moving in front of them, or dark spots. And it can pretty much tell if a planet is moving around the star. So it can actually look for planets outside of our solar system. Right. I think that's pretty cool.
That's pretty yeah. I just love the fact that space has become an important topic again.
Yeah, definitely
with the government and stuff.
I love
not necessarily
government,
government,
but
public
forum.
What?
Well, it's not just a government thing anymore, but it's I just love how I think the last big era for space was the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting back into it, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming up on the horizon.
Right. This weekend is supposed to be the I don't know how to necessarily this. I think it's Lyrid meteor shower is supposed to be this weekend.
Okay.
So
Is
if you
that covering
can
the whole
view
country,
it.
or is it
What?
parts? Is that covering the whole country, or
Honestly, I didn't look that far into it. If
look
you
it up?
you can bring it up real quick, but it's supposed to be this weekend. Supposed to be a big meteor
Late
shower. You
April,
can see.
Northern Hemisphere will get a view of the meteor shower. April 16th and 25th. All right, cool. The best day will be the early morning. Oh, dude, it's this morning.
Right.
It's literally right now, early in the morning, Sunday, April 22nd.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks. The guys that are listening to the podcast won't be able, they might have missed the best time. But I mean, after we get down, I'm going to go outside. Like, this is pretty cool.
But yeah, I always love watching meteor showers when you can see them because it's just like crazy.
Yeah, I think the last time that we looked at a meteors was when we were at Deception Pass camping, man.
Probably, you know what? Probably, yeah. But
Yeah.
before that, even I used to watch them in Eastern Washington because obviously there's less light there. You can't.
Yeah, especially up where we're from.
Yeah. So it's like we would sit there and watch that, and you could just see like stars just lighting up the sky, like shooting stars, going pew pew pew, and like lighting up the sky. It was crazy.
That's what sucks about like being this close to the water, especially New Orleans. It's so humid here. There's always clouds, and
Right.
there's a lot of light pollution, so you can't really see the stars. Like the best place that I can see stars in my current job is when you go to Nevada because we're like out in the middle of nowhere in the desert.
Right. That's in the desert
And
and stuff.
and there's just no light, so like you literally can just drive like maybe like 30 minutes to like the other side of a mountain and you can like see everything. Like people bring telescopes out there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Real quick topic to bring up. So a man in Britain was sentenced to life for infecting people with AIDS on purpose.
That's actually like a kind of a common thing. Like it's not like totally unheard of.
This isn't the first person I've heard of doing this. Like,
And
how?
the last,
But it's just so messed up. Like, how can you sit there and just purposely give people AIDS? Like,
well, it's kind of like the whole mentality of, from what I understand, of like you suffer less if you don't suffer alone. And I remember hearing stories of, like there was a woman on a college campus and she'd put up like Craigslist ads for like sex, and she was like unknowingly giving people AIDS.
see, it's different if you don't know you have it and you're just unknowingly giving it to people.
No,
if
but
you
she knew.
know you have it,
No,
and
she knew.
She knew.
Yeah, she knew.
Yeah.
She knew about it, and she gave like 300 people it.
Right, that's just so fucked up, in my opinion. Because it's just
And what's
like,
also is there's like a group of people that they want to get AIDS. Like,
they want to get AIDS.
You're HIV. Yeah, they want like they want like the social outreach that like
What?
they want to be part of the community.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a really weird phenomena, but like people that it's almost like being in like a club or like like some kind of congregation. Like they want to be a part of it, and like they go out and they like find someone who's willing to give it to them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, some bizarre stuff out there in the world of HIV.
Right. Sports stuff. This past week, the Mariners got their ass kicked by the Astros, but who's surprised? They won the World Series last year, so. And then today we're playing the Rangers. Last I checked, we were winning, but who knows if that's gonna last.
Yeah, that's like a theme I would like whenever I actually used to try to keep up with the Mariners. We'd win like the first game, and we just get our ass handed to us like the rest of them. Like,
right.
it was,
Well, we've been playing actually pretty good this year. Let me do a quick search to see what the final score was. Well, and we actually ended up winning 9-7 against the Rangers, Texas Rangers.
yeah, see, I haven't kept up with them in like the longest time. I really want them to like. It's totally bandwagon. You can call me a bandwagon fan, but like, I just want them to get good again because like it's. Yeah, I respect the diehard fans, but I haven't been to a Mariners game in like years.
I mean, we've been playing really good this year so far.
Yeah, I know
we've played in a long
I know we've
time.
been better than we were 4 years ago when I actually kept up. Jesus, it was bad then, especially like that was right when like they traded Ichiro and everyone got like a shake up, and now it's back.
This is a funny thing. we have Ichiro back now. Right?
Yeah. I actually saw. Didn't he like snag a home run like the first game? He came back. Like,
honestly, I don't know. I haven't been watching every game, but I haven't been paying attention to every game. I just been paying attention the last few games.
From what I heard, like his first game back, like someone was about to hit a homer, he just snagged it out of the stands. Like
nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to hear that he's back.
Mm.
Yeah, that's some Mariners news. I know that the Seahawks schedule just got put out.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, actually, let me pull it up for anything interesting.
We playing anybody good the first week?
Seahawks 28 teams.
Well, you're looking that good up. What else? What else came up this week? The new Amy Schumer movie came out recently, but before it even hit the theaters, it was getting shitty reviews. It was just getting shit on already. And you know what? She's the whole reason that they took away ratings on Netflix. Like, did you know that, Justin?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So she put out a what was it? A stand-up thing.
Yep.
Not that long ago, and it just got shit on. Like people on Netflix were just angry about it. Like they were literally just shitting on this fucking movie, this little stand-up movie that she put out or whatever. I don't even know what the name of the stand-up was anymore because that's how connected I am with it. But she put out this Netflix special comedy show, and people hated it so much that they just shit all over it, and it was getting shit on so much, and Netflix was promoting it, right? That they had to get rid of the rating system on Netflix, on Xbox and stuff, because so many people were just demolishing it as far as ratings go. So they no longer have the 5-star system on Netflix because of it.
Yeah, I hate how that's the percentage based now.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense why they have it, but at the same time, it's just give me
5 stars or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I miss the star rating system, but that's why they don't have it anymore. Is because it's Amy Schumer special thing that they put out, or whatever, and Netflix was promoting it, and everybody just hated it. They were just shitting on it.
All right, I got our schedule pulled up.
Oh yeah.
And we're starting out at the Broncos. Next up is at Bears. After that, home game with the Cowboys.
Interesting.
Yep. And then Cardinals, home game Rams, at Raiders in London. So we're doing one of the London games.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Detroit Lions, Chargers,
When do we play the 49ers?
49ers is we play them twice, and that's towards the end of the season.
Really?
In December, it's 2 weeks apart in December. We got a Packers game in there, a Panthers game, and then we end our last 2 games with the Chiefs and the Cardinals. The Chiefs will be a very interesting game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how we do this year. Honestly, I'm honestly afraid for the Seahawks this year, but
yeah, it hasn't been looking great, in the past couple seasons. But you can always hope for the best.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's about time to start wrapping it up, dude.
Yeah, let's just end this on something positive. Not this Debbie Downer look on the Seahawks. But you got anything else you wanna throw out there towards the end of this? Any last minute stories? Any last minute any zingers, I could say?
I went fishing today.
All right.
That was a lot of fun. Caught lots of fish, about 6 fish or whatever, right off the bat. And then it slowed down a little bit after that. But it was a good time. I haven't gone fishing in about 4 years, so.
Nice.
Yeah, you got anything you wanna throw out?
Yeah, today we went out to the levee, and it was it's kind of a quick thing, and we had our guns on us, so we all set up some Coke cans, and we shot some Coke cans, and we have this old Darth Vader mannequin, this 3 foot tall Darth Vader, and we always just decimate him with an AK, and we were just we gave Darth Vader he's been through a lot. I'll try to get a photo of him, but We destroyed Darth Vader. Had some steak. Overall, it was a pretty American day. Ended out with the podcast, and yeah, it's been a good day, guys.
Yeah, it's a good
Life is
day
good.
though. And then after the whole fishing thing, my buddy and I went to the bar and had a few drinks there and some food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been a good night, man. Glad we could get on here.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone in the comments, throw some suggestions in there. Be vocal. We're here to talk what you guys want to hear. So yeah, like throw that in there. You can find me. We got links in the description on my Twitter. Still no YouTube channel yet. We got a little more time before I get some live streaming in, but that's in the pipeline.
Still trying to do some live streaming. I just haven't decided like when we'll do it. The problem is like our times are so off. So it's like I work and then I get off and then I go to sleep and then you get on probably later on.
Yeah, you work days, I work nights, and we're in different time zones. But
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. We'll sort this out. We'll get some more content down the pipeline.
Yeah.
But for now, you got the podcast. You can follow me on Twitter, and over to Corey.
All right. Yeah. So you can follow me obviously on here at the Drunken Podcast. We now have a Twitter set up for the Drunken Podcast. It's just drunken_podcast. And then you can follow me at Coden and Bray on Twitter. And then find us here. We try to record every weekend now. Obviously, we can't follow the schedule of recording on Fridays anymore because we're so off on that or whatever. It just doesn't work anymore. So you can either find the podcast. It'll be out either on Saturday or Sunday. Just depends on when we record. But it'll always be out on a weekend. Right.
Yeah, we're always going to be on a weekend. We'll always find time to get this out on the weekend.
Yeah.
So thanks to the guys that are sticking with us, even though the schedule is a little bumpy. But...
Yep.
Yeah, Corey, it's been a good night, man. It's been a fun convo.
Yeah.
Definitely name this one the Christopher Nolan episode.
I'll definitely name it that, for sure, because we spent 40 minutes talking about it.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. And, I'm signing out. See you guys.
All right, dude. Yep. Don't forget to subscribe to the Drunken Podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. All right. See ya.